Black Lives segment 2. The hits keep coming here, so to speak. David Boudia, I will say with many of our guests, it's an honor to have. It's truly an honor to have you here and all your great accomplishments. And I know a lot more than just in diving. We'll get into your book a little bit, but amazing to do you come in a situation like this where it's all happened maybe fast for us, maybe not so fast for you, but how do you deal with this on a day-to-day that you're an Olympic medalist in times 2 or 3? That how is that in the daily lifestyle for you?
When I get home, it doesn't matter. You know? my daughter Coda doesn't. She could care less. She'll put it on and play with it, but my wife, she's proud of me. But I'm dad, husband when I go home. But it's pretty. It comes like this. This is the wave of it. So the shelf life on Olympians only so long, and especially around here, it's hometown. This is where my family and I live. This is where I spent 8 years training, competing, going to school, and living. And so it's you get a little more recognized in this area, but it's kind of nice sometimes. You go out to a different side of the country, and they can care less.
I'll bet after all that.
I would imagine you want to take the opportunity on our little show here to announce whether you will or will not dive competitively again.
How about we keep anticipation? But seriously,
scoop, man.
As soon as I was done with my individual event in Rio, the very first question you get after congratulations, how did you feel, was, will you go on for another Olympic Games? And I'm like, man, let me enjoy this medal real fast and let me sit on this. But I haven't been in the pool. I haven't done a dive since Rio. So it's been about 6 months. But the transition, we'll see what that looks like. My family and I are going to sit down and see what's best for us. But I'm healthy. Diving's been a big part of my life, and we've had some success in it. So I don't know if we can call it quits yet, or if it is time.
Yeah, you said at the Cranert dinner, I remember, and you did such a great job there. But with that you have there is a go/no-go time for you, though, where you kind of you have a time to where you need to make a decision. Is that are you getting close to that? I mean, is it
more or less?
Yeah, 90 days or so.
I can't decide 2019 in the fall that I want to go to another Olympic Games, because I won't be ready by August, especially especially right now. I put on a suit the other day, and I was like, man, this is a little tighter than it used to be. So I have to make sure that I'm going to be in shape. But I think by this fall is what I've been thinking is I'll make a decision by then what I want to do. So right now I'm going to sit on it. I'm enjoying this little break, and I'm getting into some new adventures.
Yeah. Is the break good, or do you feel the need to compete in something?
I'm a natural competitor, so I have to compete at something. And at first, since December, I didn't miss a lick of it. I still don't miss training whatsoever. Sometimes you miss that free falling, but then you kind of get to your saying, like, I'm not going to go dive off of a 3-story building, but I need to be competitive. So whether it's go fish or trying to race my 2-year-old to the door, that competitiveness is instilled in you just as an athlete. But there has to be something like that.
Yeah, your day job now in real estate, working with Keller Williams, some residential, some commercial, but there's a competitive need there. I mean, you have to have a little bit of that edge to get out and make that next call and go do that. Have you found that is a good fit for you, at least so far?
Yeah, absolutely. So that's what, since Rio, that's what I've been working on is real estate, and everything in me. I've been able to my entire life put in the work, see the results.
Yeah,
for the first time,
it's hard
it's like I put in all this work, but now I'm kind of just sitting here like, is all this work going to pay off? But it's good. I mean, it seems like everyone and their mom and aunt and son is in this business, so I love that. I mean, it's competitive, but it's also I didn't just pick real estate to be competitive. I love people. I'm in the business of trying to be in relationships with people, and what better business of interacting with somebody on a daily basis like that. So it's keeping me on my toes. It's super humbling. Like, you go from being the best in the world at something to now you're Joe Schmo in the totem pole in real estate. So I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been the best in the world at anything, but go ahead. Okay.
You're the best host of the show. There you go.
Yeah, there's only one.
Yeah.
Today. Thank you, Kyle. I appreciate that.
Part of what you're doing now too is the speaking tour, right?
Yeah.
Just going around talking. You like being able to interact and people in that forum to sort of spread your message
Yeah.
and tell people what you're about.
Yeah, I get this question all the time. What do you do?
Yeah.
And now I can say I'm in real estate, and I try to buy and sell real estate for people. But I also, it's like I put on five
Yeah.
different hats, and that's what I love about it. I like to try to juggle and balance this career. So I want to be able to do this shelf life as an Olympian as much as possible. And I think my book has helped a lot. But speaking at first, like you get in front of an audience
Yeah.
and you get freaked out. But
Yeah.
after you do it for a while, it starts to become fun to be able to tell your story. And it's booked up way more than I thought it would ever.
Yeah.
I thought maybe I'd get one here and there, but I have a pretty substantial speaking schedule this year.
Yeah.
And I don't know how long it'll last, but I'm going to try to take full advantage of it and share my story.
Well, my wife heard you a couple days ago, said you did very good.
Okay.
Well, the thing I
hopefully
the thing I appreciate about it is you do come from a faith perspective, and that's a big part of it. But I think you also, it's kind of non-denominational, but it's also maybe it's not all about faith either. It's about your life story, and the book, and Cammie, put it up if you would, Greater Than Gold, which is an excellent book, and I had a chance to read it and have enjoyed it very much. But you went through some difficult times, and I thought that was the thing that was interesting in the book, that you really brought that forward more, some depression issues, some even up to suicide. And I think that message really resonates with that you're real, and that tell us about that, and what lesson that you're trying to convey to others, or message, I guess better said, through the book and through your speaking on that topic.
Yeah, that was the main goal of this book,
Yeah.
was to be able to shed light on that. I want to be able to use my failures and my triumphs. I want to be vulnerable,
Yeah.
and I want people to know that it's okay to be
Yeah.
vulnerable. It's okay to struggle. And I think the Olympics paint this fabulous picture of everything's all hunky-dory. But once those village doors close, what happens to the athletes?
Yeah.
Obviously they hit the world stage, but a lot of them go into this deep depression. I mean, you hear swimmers all the time. There's a lot of stories coming out from the Olympics, this last one,
Yeah.
about that. But that's what I wanted to be able to use this platform to show, that there's more to life than just thinking about yourself.
Yeah. Well put.
That there's a purpose. And so for me, my purpose is my faith. So being able to love God and love others, and use my platform to announce that, but not in a way that's going to be judgmental towards somebody else, but more so authentic, and hopefully someone relates to that, and they want to see the joy that I have, and want that, or be curious about it.
How difficult was it to open up about some of those hardships that you endured that people didn't know about?
Yeah.
The first couple Olympics, really.
I think because I walked through it, and because I know at the end of the day, that's not what I'm defined as. I'm not defined as someone who was an act in whatever this realm, or a party kid in this realm, or whatever. I know that I'm not defined by that. I know my faith defines me. So the fact that I have that, it's a little scary. I mean,
Yeah. I would think.
right when I released it, I had a couple of emails from media outlets like, can you talk more about this? Like,
Yeah.
I didn't know this, and so it's almost like they wanted juice. But
Yeah.
I mean, it's a
Yeah.
juicy book. Our lives are
Yeah.
full of drama too. But I choose to see it as something that God has put in my life to be able to grow me more like Him.
Yeah. Everybody has a story, and I think if you walk into things thinking that way, you have a chance to be successful and live a life that's like you're doing, which is examined. I mean, you've taken a look at your life, and not everybody gets to do that at your age and write your life's history. How do you think, though, that book is going to be when you write David Bodiah book 2 when you're 60 years old? I mean, what do you know? What you don't know what life is ahead, but what do you want to do outside of you got a family and you've got a profession, but take us 30 years down the road. What are you going to see from David Bodiah?
Well, hopefully it's not as drama packed.
Yeah.
Hopefully my walk looks like this, like a little bit more stable. There's too many ups and downs, but you know what? I don't know I can't fast forward that long.
Yeah.
I can't even make a decision whether I'm going to go another 4 years. But I do know that
Fair answer.
I do know that my family and I will stay in Greater Lafayette for some time. We kind of have to. We're building a house, so we're
Yeah.
kind of all in. But my wife is pregnant with our second,
Yeah,
and
that's exciting.
so I mean, the family's growing, and her whole family and my family is here, and whether I don't know what that looks like 30 years
Yeah,
from now, but
yeah.
I do know that that's the most important thing to me in this life is that. So just trying to be a provider and a protector of both.
Yeah, Race Johnson, and Stacy just forwarded a tweet for Race. Race Johnson just tweeted saying, ditch Steele Johnson that is, and do synchro with me. Is that possible? I don't know, I can't, you know, Race is
He
a-
dove a little bit.
He
when
actually,
was-
his body
when he was
type's
young, yeah.
more like mine, so
Yeah,
not
he's shorter.
not tall and skinny like
Yeah.
Steele. So
Yeah.
hey, Race, maybe I've seen you do some work in the pool, and it's not as good as Steele. So
Yeah, well, he steals something, but Race,
Cannonball championships, maybe?
maybe yeah.
Race, obviously a member of the Purdue football team as well, and that has been an amazing story. But the synchro is just amazing to me in terms of how in the world do you do this, and how much time do you have to spend that much time together, or is a lot of just getting your routine by yourself and then coming together? How does that timetable usually work when you're not always in the same place as your guy?
Well, it's obviously it's worked in both situations. Where in 2012, I synchroned with someone who went
Yeah.
to Duke University,
Yeah.
Nick McQuarrie, and we ended up with a bronze.
Yeah.
So maybe it does matter. You train together and
Yeah.
you walk away with a silver with Steele.
Yeah.
But you know, it just comes down to fundamentals.
Yeah.
Perfect it by yourself and then put it together. But it's also we can't neglect the fact that we have a phenomenal coach.
Yeah.
You say there's no magic pill, but I feel like Adam is just magic in the
Yeah.
pool. Just the perspective he has and able to look at those fine details and make you better. And that's what Purdue has someone special as
Adam
a coach
Soldati,
named
yeah.
Adam Soldati. So
There was a video going around a couple weeks ago. I think it was a French filmmaker who was paying people $30 to go off the high board.
I think
the
I saw a few of that. Yeah.
They were terrified, as
Yeah.
I might
Yeah,
be.
yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not experienced, it's a scary thing, isn't it?
Yeah, I think what would have been more interesting, pay him another $10 and put him in a Speedo or brief, because that's like
Yeah, I know. That's
At first, like,
that's a new kind of pressure.
For me, that was like the biggest thing before the height was I got to get in one of these things for this. So 11-year-old boy, you're traumatized with that. But yeah, it's not easy. You get 3-story building, 35 miles head first.
You'd have to pay me a lot more than $30.
I think you could do it. I think you would do it for free if we got you up there. Someone challenged you.
I would only do it and then go straight down, feet going straight down. I've had a tendency in those situations just to stand on the edge and debate whether I was going to do it, which isn't a
That's
good
what
idea.
will get you. Is the
Yeah,
thinking.
you can't think. You gotta go.
That's right.
You know, from that standpoint. Your times in doing this, and obviously growing up, you have times when you have injury or you have scary moments in this. What was there a time where you, even early on, and your book talks about this a little bit, where you said, boy, I'm not sure this is for me, and you had something else that got you over the hump?
Yeah, I think I could think of a handful of times like that, but I think the hardest part in my, besides getting over that fear, hardest part of my career was trying to decide whether I go another 4 years
Yeah.
after London.
Yeah.
Because you reach the pinnacle of your sport. You won the Olympic Games, and it's kind of like, why would you do another Games? And that year after London there's like no motivation
Yeah.
to get in the pool. Why am I doing this? But for me, it was again kind of like this process, laying down what's important, what's matters with my family and I. But that competitiveness is ultimately what lit the fire under me, and I'm a goal setter.
Yeah.
I'm super intense when it comes to that. So if there's something that I want to achieve, I try to meet these process goals to get me to this outcome. And Olympians are kind of annoying like that sometimes. like chill out, why don't you just relax a little bit? But the last 4 years was like that. That was a hard period, just determining whether this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
You spent some of that time on television, I think not only are you a
Yes.
diver, but you're also a reality TV star, which I think then also qualifies you to run for president.
Yeah,
So
that could be next.
Is that in your future,
Man,
perhaps?
what a show!
Yeah.
bring up religion, bring up politics, right? Man, I don't know if you can call me a reality TV star when it was an 8-episode
Oh, I think it
series
was,
and then
absolutely.
dropped off
Yeah.
right
Dove,
after that, which I'm okay with. It was a good. I was glad I was able to experience something like that, learn. But that was a weird time in my career.
Yeah, and have that opportunity. But you also did make, at least lifetime for Purdue fans and Purdue people, your moment with Steele and Matt Lauer and making the correction, at least from a Purdue perspective. Did you see? I mean, when you happened to get that in real time, did Matt Lauer not have any idea? I mean, didn't understand the Purdue IU thing, or
I don't. I think at first he didn't understand. Like I said, Hoosier, you're from Indiana, but
Yeah.
it wasn't like it was rehearsed. It was just that was just in me. Whenever I hear Hoosier, I'm like, no. So making sure that we made sure that he knew where we were from was important.
Yeah.
But I looked back and I watched the interview a couple months later, and I was like, did I say that to Matt Lauer?
Yeah.
I corrected him, and
you were respectful.
hopefully,
But, yeah, you were.
But
You were,
we needed
absolutely.
to make sure we knew everyone knew where we were from. So
So did you watch that game last night? Then
I
would get.
sure did.
Yeah, it was never a dull moment.
yeah, at first it started off in up 7, and
Yeah.
you're like, okay, this is how it should be, and then it was just way too close after
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It
But
was.
win's a win.
Yeah, win's a big win for Purdue, obviously, against Indiana. What time for one more question, if you have one? Fire away.
That was the perfect wrap time. I thought I was
I'll
done.
ask him another question. What?
Yeah, IU basketball. Cut
Yeah,
to
that's
the-
true. And we're going to Brian
And
next,
then-
though David could join us in the last segment. Okay, so a house is listed in Tippecanoe County or anywhere. Call this guy at David Bodiah, and you'll be inspired in
You
more
want to give
ways
everybody
than you
your
ever
cell
know.
phone number? Is that?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can find it easily
Yeah.
online. So
We're out of questions. So, all right. Well, David, thanks so much
Hey,
for taking the
thank you,
time
guys.
to join us. We very much appreciate that, and we look forward to watching your whatever decision you make. We know it'll be a good one for
Thank
you,
you.
and I know the rest of the country is extremely proud of what you've accomplished, as well as all the people around Purdue. We're going to take a 2-minute break, bring in Brian Newbert, talk about that victory last night at Indiana, what might be ahead for Purdue men's basketball as we hit our third and final segment on Golden Black Live.